Talk more in a minute after I introduce these players. Spawning in the top right. From Team Bear Sloths, their new captain, it is MattTheKat. And his opponent in the bottom left. In blue, the captain of Team Unrivaled. Or, yeah, Team Unrivaled, that's what you call yourselves. It is our Protoss player, ViTaL. Alright, so I enjoy this map when it's not these positions. Taking a third base in these positions is such a friggin' pain. It's a mile away. No matter how you do it, it's a mile away. It's really difficult to actually defend that because it's so far away. So taking like a quicker third is basically out of the question. This is PvP, so taking a third in the first place is usually out of the question. So let's see how these players actually are able to handle this situation. It is a mirror matchup, so maps don't matter nearly as much as they do in other matchups that aren't actually mirrors, where you're playing the exact same race. So you can't really get an advantage when the other player is playing the same race as you. MattTheKat looking a little bit afraid here in this first match of this best of three, scatting around in his base, making sure there are no proxies. Doesn't want to get cheesed out in the first game here. I want to say he's not the greatest at PvP, at least in terms of CTL. But on ladder, I think he has a pretty good win rate in PvP. I just know that his first loss of the season for CTL was the PvP. So yeah, before that he was like 9-0, I think, and then he suddenly lost because it's PvP. So everybody figured out you just have to set up Protoss at MattTheKat. He still didn't lose again though, so whatever. Probes do pass each other. You're going to be scouting out. MattTheKat going for this double gas play. Actually, both players going for this double gas play. But Matt's is a little bit faster here. He's going for the 2 in each gas to start off with. Whether or not this is going to be some sort of like Stargate play, or it's just a a nice kind of a 3-stalker push, just to expand off of that, or just expanding as safe as possible with what you can with these 2 gases here. Both players have a probe inside each other's base, just looking around, seeing what's going on. Nothing much happening that they can really see too much off of. ViTaL does have 3 in each of his gases compared to Matt going for just the 2 in each. They have a second gateway for MattTheKat, so I would really actually kind of expect to see this kind of a few stalkers at a time being created, maybe going for something of that sort. Still nothing in the production tab just yet for our Red Protoss player. I imagine he will be eventually. Okay, I say eventually, and he still hasn't made actually any units out of this gateway. There he goes. He is finally making a stalker out of that gateway. First stalker is about to complete here for ViTaL. No tech path chosen for him just yet. This probe is likely, yeah, he's just going for the watchtower, so there's not going to be another proxy anywhere or anything like that. So I'm not sure exactly what this gas is going to be used for just now. I imagine we'll see here in a moment with this probe. Going to throw something down important. It's probably, yeah, going to be a robo facility here. Both players putting a robo down at pretty much the same exact time. The only really difference that we have right now is the fact that Matt has 2 gateways. But he's not really using them. He's got 2 gateways, but he doesn't have the money to use 2 gateways. He doesn't have the minerals he wants to use these 2 gateways. So despite having that early advantage in the production capabilities, he's not going to really do too much anything with it. He is chronoing out this 3rd stalker here. So he's going to have 3 stalkers, maybe a 4th one if he decides to chrono on this gateway to get a 4th one out and maybe push across the map with that. But ViTaL already he's got these 2 that are chilling back in his mineral line. Just being nice and safe. He's going to have this rope facility done pretty quickly, whether he goes for an observer first or second after an immortal to see. Given that ViTaL did see what he saw earlier with the 2 gateways, you kind of expect he's feeling a little bit like he needs to stick back and play a little bit defensive. All of his units are sitting in the main base looking like he's expecting an oracle to pop in, but right now ViTAL's up to 3 gateways here, and he's got the throw facility as well. The 3rd gateway is being produced right now by MattTheKat. First 2 gateways turning into warp gates. Both players expecting a Stargate play, it seems, hugging their nexi, their respective nexuses, making sure nothing's going to go kill a bunch of pros while they're wandering out on the map anywhere. ViTAL's the first player to grow a set and throw down his expansion here. We'll likely see one coming up from MattTheKat here. So just both players playing extremely safe, going for extremely safe 3-gate robo expansion sort of plays, making sure they're not going to die to any sort of early pushes. Having those options is always nice to have. Even if you end up having a bunch of units in your base, you want to be able to defend off it somehow. If you can see it coming, you'll be able to defend against it. First immortals are going to be coming out for both players here. Actually, was there one immortal done yet? No. No immortals have been put out by MattTheKat just yet. This first one is on the way. He did make these 2 sentries, so that's where his gas has gone, compared to ViTaL going for this first quicker forge here. No real tech path has been chosen by either player. A Twilight Council has been put down, however, by MattTheKat. So he's going to be able to go for like any sort of blink or charge or whatever he wants to get up to a little bit faster than ViTaL, but that may not matter depending on what they decide to do with these. But the Twilight Council is definitely going to come into play as soon as it is finished, whether it's going to be for some sort of tech beyond just using the Twilight Council, or if it's going for charge or blink very, very quickly here. Times like these, I just kind of like to sit here and look at the map, say what's up, let you look at everything going on. It is going to be a chronoed out blink, it seems, from MattTheKat, as well as a warp prism coming up. Warp prism play is always nice. This is a very wide open natural base here, or a main base, so you can get in on these bases kind of unseen, drop a bunch of units off, or even like go for an elevator sort of play, pump up a bunch of units up on the high ground. You can come to surprise your opponent if it doesn't get scouted out. But this Warp Prism is already finished. Actually, he's picking up a probe, so is he going to go take a quick third? I'm really confused. He may take a quick third, that's a possibility, or is he going to try to hide some tech over at this location? Let's see what he does with that. Probe for now doesn't have the minerals to really do anything, so he's not able to do too much at the moment. I'm not sure about taking a third can be. It's one risk to take. Also, scouting this out is going to be a little difficult. If he does want to hide some tech there, that's also a distinct possibility. But for right now, that's just a Warp Prism chilling over on this island base, not doing too much beyond that. First Colossus is on the way here for ViTaL, so it's definitely going to be his choice. But beyond that, I'm not sure what either player is going to be doing just yet. ViTaL may not have too much of a plan to expand beyond these 2 bases here once he gets a good number of Colossus up. And it's going to be really nice for him, because when he does so, he's going to be going up against, well, there's not really many Immortals out. There's one Immortal right now. There's just a few Gateway units. There's really not all that much out for MattTheKat tech-wise that's going to deal with these Colossus very well. If you're not going to go Colossus, you're probably going to want to have a good number of Immortals to deal with those Colossus. They can kill those off very, very quickly. Okay, there we go. MattTheKat finally doing something with this probe. Still doesn't have nearly enough of the minerals to make a third base or anything just yet, at least. So the probe's going to be a little bit lonely for a little bit longer period of time. And actually, I think this Warp Prism, yeah, Warp Prism is going to fly directly into the vision range. That's a bit of a mistake, to say the least. He could have avoided that pretty easily if he wanted to, but he just kind of chose not to do that. So now ViTaL can set himself up in a nice position to deal with this Warp Prism if he chooses. So I'm not sure where his... Okay, most of his armor is actually still in the main base, so even if this Warp Prism gets in unseen, which will be very difficult to do, there's only a small bit of this base. Actually, I think all of the base is seen by ViTaL, so Warp Prism is not going to get into his base unseen. So at best, Matt's going to need to warp in some units and then drop them off into the mineral line. There's already a cannon here waiting for that possibility. And yeah, again, ViTaL has really, really nice vision of everything out there. MattTheKat pushing a little bit out onto the map here. Just going to take down that proxy pylon. Take a little bit more map control. And still, I'm just waiting for something to actually happen. There we go. There we go. So I'm trying to think. What was that? 3 minutes ago? That probe got put on that base. And finally we have third base coming down. So just a hidden third base, which can really, really confuse your opponent if this isn't seen. Because likely, I imagine ViTAL's going to come over here and scout for a third base. And if he doesn't actually see anything there, he's going to expect, okay, you don't have a third base, so you're probably going to attack with a ton of units, so I need to stay home and defend. He'd be super defensive, but then it turns out that your opponent's actually gone like double robo or something. The Colossus production has finally started up here for MattTheKat, but he is pretty far behind. So unless he starts actually making like double Colossus at a time, it's going to be difficult for him to catch up. There's already 3 Colossus on the field here for ViTaL. It seems he has stopped for the time being. Likely wanting to use that gas for all the other tech he's getting right now. He's got charge in the way. Extended Thermal Lance is about to finish up well. +2 attack, plus, what is that, 2 armor? Why am I so bad at this? That's +2 armor as well. A little bit of warping here from MattTheKat, going after this third base, but a cannon here, a couple warping of the Zealots, and another warping into the main base. That's a good number of Zealots, but they do not have charge. Once again, if you're going to harass with Zealots, you want to have charge, because these Zealots are, for the most part, useless. Because by the time they get to anything, everything can just run away. Now this war prison is probably not long for this world now. Indeed, it is going to die as well, so MattTheKat sunk a good chunk of money into that harassment that did absolutely nothing. I mean, units lost so far in this game. ViTaL has lost a Zealot, an Observer, and a Probe. Compared to this War Prism, 9 Zealots, 2 Observers, and 2 Probes. I guess luckily for MattTheKat, he does have this hidden base. ViTaL doesn't see this base. He's probably not going to see this base for a while. That's not really something you expect to see from a Protoss player. You would expect it from a Terran. It's much easier to get a base established over on this island. Just lift up a CC and take it over there and just mule hammer this base. Strip mine that out quickly. But that's not really going to matter because ViTaL is pushing across. He's got this nice count of Colossus. He's got these 3 Colossus. He's got 3 Immortals as well. He's got +2 finished, +3 on the way. The 2/2 is going to be finishing up here for MattTheKat. Luckily, I guess he has sniffed this out. Okay, his Observer, or no, his Scouting Phoenix ran directly over that army, I believe. So he was able to see this coming. So he is preparing as best as he possibly can, but he is so low on money. Even adding a Dark Shrine in, knowing he is really in a kind of a bad position right now. A War Prison for ViTaL, going to get into this base. Is it going to be, okay, it's going to be seen, but what can Matt can do? He's taken his entire army over to deal with this War Prison, but when he does that, that means there's nothing at the natural base. ViTAL's sitting in his Phoenix to see that, and he's going to be prepped with that. He should run in. Yeah, he's going to start running in with his main army, and if he does that, he can force field off this, which will force, actually there's nothing that can break the force fields even, and both of those Colossus poorly, oh Colossus, you're such assholes. They're trying to cliff walk, which is cool, but they cliff walk down the worst spot possible. Those 2 Colossus died immediately. Otherwise, this Colossus count would be actually completely even as it stands now. ViTaL has a humongous Colossus lead. Just a great lead for ViTaL right now. 140 supply to 114, 98 army supply to 55 in favor of ViTaL. He is within the natural base here of MattTheKat. Even the Mothership Core must have died as well, or it's somewhere in the main base, not doing anything useful. This natural is completely under fire. MattTheKat is just melting. His units are absolutely completely melting right now. There are a couple DTs, which is really nice, but there is this Observer back here. So once ViTaL figures out he is getting tickled by this DT, he will bring that up. But these DTs are doing a ton of work. 2 kills and 1 kill. There we go. There's the Observer. And now there's pretty much nothing left for MattTheKat. He just has this hidden base. That's cool. But there's 8 workers there, plus the 6 on gas. And there we go. GG for MattTheKat. ViTAL's